A godly home is a foretaste of heaven, and only the woman's magic wand can create that. Where then is that magic wand? Why are we being overtaken by immorality, corruption, wickedness, killings, and more? Acts done by the fruits of the woman. Have the women failed in their duties? Big question. But join us on Conversations for Answers this Wednesday, the 9th of March.
Welcome to Nationwide. I'm Ruth Aguele. Before we begin, let's remind you that you can follow this news broadcast live on our website is nta.ng/live. You can find us on YouTube, NTA News Online. On Twitter, we are at NTA News Now. You can visit our Facebook page, that is NTA Network News, and on Instagram, you find us NTA Network for all the updates. Let's begin from Ukraine. Ukraine issues. Nigerian Minister of Foreign Affairs Jeffrey Onyama has expressed gratitude to Dmytro Kuleba, Foreign Minister of Ukraine, for approval given as promised to establish a humanitarian corridor and authorize evacuation of Nigerian students from Sumi starting on Monday, 7th March 2022. In a tweet, the minister said the big challenge is procuring buses, adding that Nigeria is doing everything to make it happen. He commended the commitment by Nigerian ambassador to Ukraine, Shino Alege. In another development, the federal government has refuted an alleged ongoing registration of Nigerian volunteers into the fighting force of Ukraine at the Ukrainian embassy in Abuja. A statement by spokesperson of the Ministry Foreign Affairs Ministry, Francisca Oma Yuli, says the ministry contacted the embassy to verify the speculation, and the Ukrainian embassy refuted the allegation, but confirmed that a number of Nigerians had approached the embassy indicating their willingness to fight on the side of Ukraine in its ongoing conflict with Russia. Furthermore, the embassy clarified that the Ukrainian government is not admitting foreign volunteer fighters and as such disassociated itself from the claim that it's requesting $1,000 from each Nigerian volunteer for air ticket and visa. The statement further clarifies that as a responsible member of the international community and consistent with its obligation under international law, Nigeria discourages the use of mercenaries anywhere in the world and will not tolerate the recruitment in Nigeria of Nigerians as mercenaries to fight in Ukraine or anywhere else in the world. The federal government will continue to engage with the Embassy of Ukraine in Nigeria and other relevant authorities to prevent this possibility. Let's turn to other issues. The suspended Deputy Commissioner of Police, DCP Abba, and 6 others have been arraigned by the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency before the Federal High Court sitting in Abuja. Let's hear that report now.
Abba and 6 others are standing trial on 8-count charge which border on alleged drug trafficking, tampering with evidence and other offences. Abba and other police officers who are part of the Inspector General of Police Intelligence Response Team pleaded not guilty to the counts, while the two alleged drug traffickers pleaded guilty to the charge preferred against them. After taking their plea, counsel to NDLEA Joseph Sunday prayed the court to fix a trial date for the 5 defendants who pleaded not guilty, while Kano Agabi, who led the defense team, informed the court that bail application has been filed. The prosecution counsel declined to speak, but one of the defense counsel speaks.
Well, I wouldn't like to go into the issues that affect the life of the case at this stage. What we're concerned at this stage is securing the bail of our clients. And they're pleading guilty or not guilty, that is left for them and their defense counsel.
After hearing both parties, Justice Emeka Nwite adjourned the case to 14th of this month for hearing of the bail application.
The constitutional amendment bills on devolution of powers to state governments have been described as milestones that will deepen Nigeria's democracy. Guest on NTAI's Good Morning Nigeria, who gave this position, also note that the rejection of bills on affirmative action is counterproductive. Leader Samson reports.
Which seek to move items such as airports, railways, correctional centers and power generation from the exclusive list to the concurrent legislative list is viewed by the guests as forward-looking for the nation's democracy.
The generation of power and distribution of power from area covered by the national grid to be available to the state via the concurrent list. The reason behind this is to stimulate development in the sub-regions. It's important that we'll start, opening up the space for economic stimulation and development.
We understand that the major problems we are facing today regarding the issue of rejection or acceptance has to do with the legal operational framework, that is the Constitution of Nigeria itself.
Women, however, are still not smiling over the rejection of gender inclusion bills at the National Assembly.
The bill the one we didn't pass, the one that has to do with women, especially bill number 35, bill number 37, and the bill number 68. These are the bills that generated so much concern for Nigerians. Many of us, especially the women in the Senate and House of Representatives, canvassed very vigorously to get our colleagues to join us in passing that bill. And we feel that those bills are very progressive in nature.
I think in general, let's just get back to the fact that out of the 68 bills, majority of them passed was a good thing. But out of the 19 that failed, it was very disappointing to learn that 5 of the bills that focused on or gender-related or women-related all failed.
However, with the disparity between the numbers of the bill passed by both chambers of the National Assembly, a harmonized version is being inspected before transmission to the Houses of Assembly for concurrence, while Nigerians keep their fingers crossed. In Abuja, Lydia Samson, NTA News.
Revisit and reverse the bills in court not reflecting the general interest of Nigerian women. The National Council for Women's Societies tells the National Assembly at a press briefing held at the Council's headquarters in Abuja. Momso Demiandeti will give us the details now.
Statistics indicates that women constitute half of Nigeria's population. Yet, this has little or no impact on the political landscape of the nation. In view of this, the National Council for Women's Societies called for this meeting, seeking the National Assembly to reverse bills passed within the past few days that seek to suppress the general interests of women.
The National Council of Women's Societies, which is the umbrella body of all organizations, associations, and groups in Nigeria, considers this a sad state of affairs. Thus, we call on the 9th Assembly to stand tall and be on the right side of history, to immediately look into how they can redress this gross imbalance that has seized a country of an estimated 200 million people, where women do not have a voice. Nigerian women should not be made irrelevant to the progress and future of this country. Our voices deserve to be heard.
Women need a lot of legal backings to be able to look at what has been their legal constitutional right in order of their presentation of their right.
The Center on behalf of Nigerian women is calling for an end to bias against women in the country and globally. Momso Damien Ati, NTA News.
The Chairman Senate Committee Information and National Orientation, Senator Danladi Sankara, has urged state assemblies to do due diligence in considering the constitution alteration bills passed by the National Assembly. A statement by Senator Sankara observed that the review of the constitution remains one of the major and critical roles of the legislative arm of government and should be done with utmost patriotism. He noted that some of the bills passed, such as financial and administrative autonomy of local governments, state assemblies and judiciary, and devolution of powers on some items are apt and should not be politicized, as he advised Nigerians to speak to their representatives in their state assemblies on what they want as the end product of the amendment. The senator, however, implored the media to give adequate publicity to the state assemblies during the consideration of these bills, just as it gave to the National Assembly. In view of their professional callings in all aspects of national development, retired permanent secretaries say they have much to offer as technocrats in making the economy to not only boost but expand in response to the dynamics of modern global outlook. This was at a national executive meeting of the group in Abuja.
The permanent secretaries are not all that tired. Some of them are useful. They can assist governments. And therefore, we all come together and provide solutions and problems of the state in our respective areas. We have branches in all the states. We normally, whenever the government comes, we sit down, since it is the only association that is made up of all professionals. You find a doctor, a retired permanent secretary, a journalist, an engineer, an administrator. So we look at these sectors and give our advice for the state government to look at.
1,000 civil servants drawn from the federal ministries, departments and agencies are to receive information and communication technology training this year under the third phase of the federal government's ICT for Change initiative. Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, signed a memorandum of understanding to this effect with Huawei Technologies Nigeria Limited to signal the commencement of the latest phase of the program. Mitari Ekben reports.
The ICT for Change initiative is in line with the federal government's desire for e-government operations to go paperless, digitize records and files, as well as automate workspaces. 2,000 Nigerian youths and 1,000 federal civil servants have benefited since the program took off in 2019, and COVID-19 makes this third phase pertinent to consolidate on previous gains.
This phase would expand topics to focus on areas including 1, ICT development trends, 2, e-government for the future, 3, 5G motivation and industry progress, and 4, cybersecurity strategies.
An implementation task team comprising officials from the Federal Ministry of Communications and Digital Economy and the Office of the Head of the Civil Service of the Federation will select participants for the ICT training.
Now we take training very, very important in head of service, and that is why in our own strategic plan, capacity building is an integral part of the items, one of the pillars in the plan,
which will significantly improve the efficiency in public service.
This partnership between government and the private sector is expected to produce more paperless offices and a smart workforce. In Abuja, Mitaire Ikmen, NTA News.
Ahead of the 2023 general elections, the All Progressives Congress has administered oath of office to new state chairman of the party. Abdurrahman Jibrila reports that the event took place at the Buhari House, National Secretariat, Abuja.
The Constitution of the All Progressive Congress. These are the 36 state chairmen of the APC out of 37, Sokoto State excluded, taking oath of office to enable them hit the ground running as the 2023 general elections continues to take shape, with INEC releasing timetable of activities.
At this point, I would like to draw your attention that the work has just begun. I pray and I hope that by the time you get back to your respective states, you will unite the party in your various states. So please remember those that stood for you and be a leader in your various states. Whatever actions you take, put at the back of your mind the principle of fairness, equity, and justice. So on behalf of President Muhammad Buhari and members of the Caretaker Committee, I would like to congratulate you.
The acting chairman, APC Caretaker and Extraordinary Convention Planning Committee, said a committee has been set up to address all contending issues in the Sokoto State APC crisis. Abdurrahman Jibrila, NTA News.
All right, we head into Lagos now to join Michael to serve us the next set of reports. Michael?
Thank you, Ruth. The Electoral Act 2022, signed by President Buhari, has been described as a watershed in the consolidation of the nation's democratic journey. This was the view of experts who commended the decision of Mr. President, with emphasis that the onus now lies on the electoral umpire INEC to ensure credible elections. Adiola Komiakere reports.
The signing of a 2022 Electoral Act by President Buhari has come with lots of expectations from Nigerians on the roles the Independent National Electoral Commission INEC will play in ensuring a free, fair and credible polls come 2023 and beyond. For many years, Nigerian elections have been fraught with challenges ranging from lack of independence of Electoral Commission, elongated election dispute resolution, to irresponsible behavior by politicians and their hired thugs who disrupt the process.
This is fantastic. See, nobody don't have to use their hand to start doing mathematics. The system will computerize all those things for us. So as you vote, it goes straight down into the portal that says, Mr. Dixon actually voted, and this is what he voted for. The actual count will come up. So nobody's going to be using money to sensitize people, to give to people, to bribe them to do all kind of stuff.
Now, putting an end to these irregularities that paint an electoral process in bad light is what the 2022 Electoral Act as amended will address. This is because it has specific provisions that have made the Act more unique.
INEC must live above board like Caesar's wife and conduct a free, fair and credible elections in 2023, such that the outcome of the 2023 elections will be not only be rancor-free but will be generally acceptable by vast majority of Nigerians and of course the political actors within the Nigerian politics. And that will give a lot of legitimacy to the government that is going to come in.
With over 176,000 polling units nationwide, stakeholders and political gladiators say this Electoral Act could not have come at a better time, and INEC is destined to deliver in the political chess game.
INEC has been improving, year in, year out in every election. And with this new law, very soon Nigeria will be a role model in Africa.
Experts are, however, of the opinion that while expectations from INEC are high, it also behoves on the political class to play the game by the rules as set by the Electoral Act, the Constitution, and the umpire's guidelines. In Lagos, Adeola Komiakere, NTA News.
Nigerian youth have a chance to develop better entrepreneurship and career skills with the establishment of the American Ikeja Corner. The project, which is in partnership with the Lagos State Government and the U.S. alumni universities, was declared open by the U.S. Ambassador to Nigeria, Marybeth Leonard. Give George tells us more.
The American Corner Ikeja Lagos officially declared open to enhance the historical relationship between the American people and the Nigerian community. It will build bridges and promote collaborations between both countries. Economically, it will provide a hub for empowerment programs for young Nigerians seeking new skills, innovations in technology, as well as leadership and entrepreneurship opportunities.
An American Corner is a free space where people can come and learn about the United States. They can learn about educational opportunities. They can take part in a variety of programs and activities that will help them to figure out their professional aspirations through this American space and explore the opportunities that are here, explore how through education and engagement and empowerment.
Education and technology is the third pillar in our themes agenda. We continue to push the value proposition in these areas because we think they're fundamental cornerstones to solving our developmental challenges.
Central to the hub is the area of socio-cultural programs, providing information about educational opportunities available in the U.S. by developing relationships with the U.S. alumni universities in exchange programs.
Either you want to travel to the United States, you want to school there, you want to network, you are seeking partnership, you're seeking sponsorship, you're seeking scholarship. This is where you can find those kind of information.
We've had some on career building, we've had workshops on tech skills, we've had workshops on 3D printing and design, we've had robotics workshops, so many different workshops, digital marketing, so many affiliate marketing, so many amazing life-changing and life-transforming workshops.
The American Corner Ikeja is the newest of the 19 American spaces in Nigeria. In Lagos, Gift George, NTA News.
Don't forget that you can follow this news broadcast live on our website at nta.ng/live and on YouTube at NTA News Online. You can also visit our Facebook page at NTA Network News, Twitter handle at NTA News Now, and on Instagram at NTA Network for updates. Time for some messages, and when we return, Nationwide continues with Ruth in Abuja.
Ever-busy ancient city of Onitsha is a commercial hub with millions of commuters seamlessly linking other states daily for business, leisure, and other purposes. To upscale its road network, the construction of a 1.6-kilometer long second Niger bridge, including a 10.3-kilometer highway furnished with other infrastructure, has been in motion by the federal government. This project will ease congestion on the existing 56-year-old Onitsha bridge and boost the economic capacity of the state as it easily connects to other parts of the country. The completion of the world-class second Niger bridge Onitsha will be one of the many proud moments of the state, its people, Nigerians, and foreign investors. Onitsha, which hosts the largest market in Africa, is geared up to boast of an impressive road network. Once again, these moments are made alive by the federal government, and it is deserving of all the applause.
All the thrills and all the action on Nigeria's biggest dance reality show. Glow Battle of the Year is on NTAI every Sunday from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m.
Proficiency courses to sharpen your professional skills. Computer appreciation for media practitioners. Date 21st February to 28th February 2022. 1 week. English grammar and pronunciation for broadcasters. Date 1st March to 25th March. 4 weeks. Administrative principles, processes and practices. Date 11th March to 31st March 2022. 4 weeks. Modern trends in broadcast media marketing. Date 14th March to 13th April 2022. 4 weeks. Basic broadcast accounting and auditing. Date 4th April to 19th April 2022. 2 weeks. The course fee for the 1 week course is 100,000 naira per participant. The fee for the 2 week course is 150,000 naira, while the course fee for the 4 week course is 180,000 naira only. Accommodation inclusive. The venue for all courses is the serene and secure environment of NTAI College, near Old Government House, Rayfield, Jos. For more inquiries, please call 0803-314-4383 or 0806-980-9807. NTAI College, training you to be the best you want to be.
To every politician, as the campaigns gain momentum and passions begin to rise, remember, the errors of your opponents do not make you a success. Do not run down your opponent and inflame passions to violence between and among your supporters. What counts is what you plan to do for the electorate and how you intend to relieve the sufferings and bring succor. Nigeria is in dire need of patriotic leaders at all levels. Leaders who will make national development their priority. Concentrate on telling the electorate what you intend to do when you get into office. Focus on making your vision clear to the electorate. Don't engage in verbal abuses, fake news or speeches. Keep dealing with issues that will bring progress. You win the hearts and minds of the people by being above board, by being civil, patriotic, and showing empathy. Let's join hands to make the 2023 elections peaceful. A message from the National Orientation Agency.
Welcome back. The Chief of Naval Staff retreat with principal staff officers commanding and commanders of autonomous units and establishment is underway at the Naval Headquarters with the theme Optimizing Nigerian Navy Operational Efficiency in a Challenging Economy, the Role of Leadership. Let's hear from Defense Correspondent Najatu Tijani.
The evolving nature of security threats in the nation requires leadership at different levels to have the requisite skills to tackle these challenges. And that is why at this 2022 Chief of the Naval Staff retreat holding here at the Naval Headquarters with the theme Optimizing Nigerian Navy Efficiency in a Challenging Economy, the Role of Leadership is aimed at realigning attitudes and management to tackle these challenges.
For us, as leaders, we must deem it a worldwide obligation to do all that is necessary in securing the nation's economic prosperity within the context of the prevailing national political economy and enhancing our security as a maritime force.
Officers occupying the top echelon of the Nigerian Navy are part of this retreat, and they are expected to revise their roles in their new offices to have a better understanding of current realities. This retreat will give them the enabling environment to brainstorm on experiences of the past year while focusing on how to realize the outstanding deliverables of the Chief of the Naval Staff's strategic directive. The retreat is aimed at realigning attitudes with the urgency of the moment to proffer the best behavioral approaches to problem solving. Najatu Tijani, NTA News.
National President of Police Officers' Wives Association, Hajara Alkali Baba, has called on spouses of security agents to intensify prayers for their husbands to find lasting solutions to the lingering security challenges facing the country. She made the call while at a two-day working visit to Nasarawa State. Replong Domtor reports.
The national president and her entourage were received in Lafia by the Commissioner of Police National State Command alongside other officers of the command and POA in the state. Hajara said her leadership is poised to prioritizing welfare, education and healthcare needs of police families.
They should not be nagging wives, they should be prayerful, they should do all the necessary things, keep to the rules and regulations of the barracks so that we get what we want.
It's the benevolent act of the Inspector General of Police that he doesn't forget his people, those who have, those who don't have. He has done this through power.
She urged the police officers' wives to continue to entrench peace in their homes to inspire their husbands to focus their attention to their duties. Sewing and grinding machines as well as food items were distributed to over 80 wives of police officers, among whom were widows.
I'll use it to sew, to help myself and my family.
I'll use it to do business with you and take care of my family.
The POA national president during the visit also inaugurated a block of 3 classrooms at the Police Children's School, where she reiterated the importance of education to the country's advancement. Other activities by the POA national president was a visit to the Nasarawa State Police Command headquarters, where she was received by a guard of honor, as well as a homage to the Emir of Lafia, Justice Sidi Bagay. In Lafia, Replong Domtur, NTA News.
The Archbishop, Metropolitan and Primate of all Nigeria, Most Reverend Henry Ndukuba, has enjoined Nigerians, irrespective of religion or ethnic inclination, to embrace peace, especially at this challenging time. The primate, who was on a special visit to Kano, said this shortly after a service at St. Stephen's Anglican Church. Muhammad Ali reports.
The visit by the primate of all Nigeria, Most Reverend Ndukuba, is like a homecoming to Anglican Communion Kano, a place where he started. It is also served as an opportunity for church members to interact and hear the words of God from the primate. At a church service, the Archbishop Henry Ndukuba admonished Christian faithful to love one another and remain peaceful with their host community.
That we will continue to say is that Nigeria has a great future. And in fact, I believe that nobody will want to destroy his own house or kill his own people. Most of the people that are doing this may be people from outside colluding and colliding and collaborating with some of the people inside of our nations, our different parts. And although we may say that Kano has experienced a relative peace, of all the upheavals here and there, we want to appreciate the efforts of the government.
On the 2023 general elections, the primate called on youth not to engage in any act capable of destroying their future.
We ask all people to engage in prayer, but also be involved in the political processes that will bring the leadership of our nation come 2023.
The reunion with primates was full of joy to members of Anglican Diocese Kano. Muhammad Ali, NTA News.
We'll make another stop in Kaduna as we join Salamatu to pick up from there. Salamatu.
Thank you, Ruth, and a warm welcome. Internally displaced persons from crisis-ridden areas in some part of Kaduna and Borno states taking refuge in Kaduna IDP's camp have received donation from the National Commission for Refugees, Migrant and Internally Displaced Persons. Amina Saidu reports that the Commission provide relief materials to cushion the hardship of the IDPs.
Kaduna Internally Displaced Persons Camp harbored people who have life in this situation is quite harsh with absence of basic amenities. Addressing these challenges and to bring new lease of life to the refugees informed the intervention of the National Commission for Refugees, Migrants and Internally Displaced Persons in providing some essential needs to the IDPs. Naomi Ibrahim Malia is among those forced out of their homes by conflict, but relief came her way with the presentation of food items by the Commission.
What they give us, we are saying thank you, and we are going to also take it to our family and use it in the rightful way.
The National Refugees Commission said items donated are temporary measures to relieve them from hardship.
Kaduna State is one of the fish there. We are here for Jukun from Borno State. We will continue to sensitize the good people of Jukun local government, particularly the youth, to know the importance of peace. In any given society where there is no peace, there will be no meaningful development.
Beneficiaries like Naomi are from Kaduna and Borno states, looking forward to returning to their homes in the future.
Driving the present administration's economy diversification youths under its national adopted village for smart agriculture in Jigawa State. Ibrahim Bello has the details.
The week-long training has exposed participants to digital agriculture, smart technology and innovation aimed at improving agricultural practice for increased productivity and ensure maximum profit for farmers, especially youths. Director General NIDA, Kashif Inwa, who joined the closing ceremony virtually, is positive that the National Adopted Village for Smart Agriculture, NAFSA.
Student, this is an opportunity for you to conceptualize and start your own business before graduating.
Jigawa State Governor, represented by SA Wheat Production Yasa Wada, and other speakers say The need to digitize agriculture and its general practice has never been more emphasized, with more opportunities for the youth to ensure food security and the much-needed economic diversification.
It has enhanced our farmers in getting more yield and less stress in the farm.
It will enhance production, it will enhance wealth creation.
It will help them in to undertake their various researches and other important academic activities.
The problem of agri now in this nation is all about capital, but they show us how many ways to generate all those things.
Earlier, the team visited Federal University Dutse demo site, developed and equipped by NIDA, with modern technology for smart irrigation and smart brooding system. In Dutse, Ibrahim Bello, NTA News.
And that completes our package from here. Meanwhile, you can follow this news broadcast live on our website, nta.ng/live, and on YouTube channel, NTA News Online. You can also visit our Facebook page, NTA Network News, Twitter at NTA News Now, and Instagram, NTA Network for updates. Meanwhile, we'll be joining Zenret from our Jos Network Center, but after this timeout. Please stay tuned.
Are interested in gaining admission through the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board JAMB. Courses available for application include film and television production, broadcast journalism, and television engineering technology. Such candidates must have a minimum of 5 O-level credits in relevant subjects, including English language and mathematics. For inquiries, please call Management Announcer.
From dusk to dawn, 24 hours a day, NTA International is with you. In your living room, office, and everywhere, anywhere. We provide a company you desire in terms of balanced and up-to-date news, programs, and the best of entertainment. Tune in to DSTV channel 251, GoTV channel 91, Freeview channel 264, or live streaming via www.visiontv.co.uk. You can also see us on Facebook and YouTube for quality content on the go. NTA International, Africa's window to the world.
Youths are about the greatest assets the country has at the moment. It is therefore not surprising that the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari is strategically responding to the yearnings of the youth through multiple projects and programs. Youth Entrepreneurship Support Years by Bank of Industry, the Youth Investment Fund by the CBN, and several other conditional cash transfer programs. Recruitment of 774,000 social workers, majority of whom are youths, and so many other projects that are beneficial to youths directly or indirectly. If the administration can do all this, definitely with a degree of patience and time, it can achieve more. Nigerian youths must come together to say no to terrorism, no to vandalism, and no to all disruptive tendencies. Hashtag Youth for Greater Nigeria. Pacifying the youths.
Thanks for staying tuned. The Judiciary Staff Union of Nigeria Plateau State Chapter has embarked on an indefinite strike demanding for the implementation of lingering peculiar allowances approved by its national body since 2014. Ijoma Ozemina has more.
The Judiciary Staff Union of Nigeria Plateau State Chapter embarked on the indefinite strike over what they call specific allowances, to include security, outfit, and domestic allowances. Following the declaration of the strike, most courts in the state are on the lock and key.
We have series of meetings, and yet there was no any fruitful result. The committee, as I said, ended unceremoniously because based on the information that the management gave to the committee, that there is even no money to pay salary, and in December they went out of their way in order to borrow for money and augment our salary.
The Chief Registrar of Plateau State High Court, Ladi Madaki, says in the document of financial autonomy signed by Jusun at the national level and its negotiating team, there was no mention of such allowances.
If you have to push for this, go back to establishment or go back to the House of Assembly. Let them pass a law to say you're entitled to outfit to this allowance and it's assented by the executive. Then we here have no basis to say we will not pay those allowances.
She urged the union to rescind their decision and return to work. In Jos Ijoma Ozemena, NTAI News.
To monitor the effects of weather forecasting and climatology, automated and manual weather stations for schools across the 3 senatorial districts of Plateau State has been inaugurated. Ijoma Ozemena again reports.
The weather stations are said to be equipped with instruments for measuring atmospheric conditions to ensure real-time data streaming. With the establishment of one of the weather stations at the University of Jos, the institution is to leverage on it to strengthen the capacity of its staff.
For the betterment of humanity, in the name of the Father, the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. From this, Plateau State can have its own weather outlook, local weather outlook from the data that will be generated here. In the event that the national data and the weather outlook is not presented on time, we can leverage on what we have as information.
Management of the university expressed gratitude to the state government for the gesture and appealed for provision of more facilities in the school.
We want to plead with you. You have a center of NIMET in Katsina and in Lagos. Let UniJos house the central Nigeria. We can house it through our consultancy or we can house it through geography so that you can train personnel for NIMET.
Records show that automated and manual weather stations provide frequent and accurate readings of weather conditions. In Jos, Ijoma Ozemena, NTAI News.
That's it from Jos. It's back to Ruth for more reports on Nationwide.
Thank you, Zenret. Sufficient trade negotiations capacity is considered a sure footing in advancing Nigeria's chances in the global recovery journey occasioned by the coronavirus pandemic. Now, this formed the basis of the first ever National Intensive Trade Negotiations Simulation Skills course by the Nigerian Office for Trade Negotiations in collaboration with ODI and UK Aid in Abuja. Bosadi Ebo reports.
Nigeria is said to be one of the most open services markets in Africa, receiving an overall rated score of 27.1%, virtually open on the Services Trade Restrictions Index published by the World Bank. Sustained by government policies and increased private investments, growth in the sector has driven the diversification of the economy. In taking further actions to deepen the gains, the Nigerian Office for Trade Negotiations, in collaboration with Overseas Development Institute and UKAID, is exposing Nigerians both in the public and private sectors to the new ways of negotiating trade across key sectors. Its target is to attract more investment and boost job opportunities.
I've seen very determined participants who have already taking the step forward to move our country forward.
Training has achieved its objective by equipping the Nigerian team about how to negotiate trade deals for Nigeria.
This is to get Nigerians to get the very good deals that will help the country.
Leah Katung Babatunde, a business, financial and economic correspondent of the NTAI, is one of the participants who benefited from this skill development. She says with the lapses that saw Nigeria lost, being the host country for the AFCFTA headquarters, training like this would better equip Nigeria for future negotiations.
This, in a way, would help us to get there to the negotiating table subsequently better equipped.
First, the African Continental Free Trade Area, and then, of course, in the larger world economy.
The objective of this training is to enhance the negotiating skills of government officials by deepening their understanding on multilateral and bilateral negotiations for better service delivery. In Abuja, Boss Sede Ebo, NT News.
Africa must shift from climate mitigation to adaptation to avoid pending food and water scarcity on the continent. This advice is coming from the Nigerian Office of the Global Initiative for Food Security and Ecosystem Preservation while reacting to the report released on the 20th of February this year by the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change.
The impacts and the costs of climate are very compounding at the moment. Food and water are at risk. And that if we overshoot the baseline, that is the Paris Agreement focus, to keep temperatures below 1.5, then it means that there will be irreversible damage to the climate system. We must include in our developmental plans a robust policy of maintaining green surroundings. 2, discourage the application of herbicides in our agricultural practices. 3, institutions and agencies championing regreening of our landscapes. 4, encourage utilization of alternative sources of energy.
We most sincerely appreciate the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, being signatory to the Paris Agreement. During the COP26, he assured the world that a law to that effect will be enacted in Nigeria. When he came back, he signed the bill. And looking at it, we are pleading with the President to please, having signed this law, to give effect to it. 1, by constituting the council, by appointing a director general that will head the secretariat, by appointing all the regional coordinators that will work as the feeders to the national secretariat as provided for this.
The IPCC report on climate change there. Let's turn to other issues. The Chief Executive Officer of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, Mele Kolokiari, led key players on inspection of petrol stations in Abuja for an on-the-spot assessment. Lydia Sampson reports.
The CEO of NNPC Limited, it is not enough to massively truck out petroleum products across the country. Ensuring it reaches retail stations and is dispensed to motorists seamlessly is key. At the petrol stations visited, the sale and dispensing of petrol was ongoing, with the station dealers and managers acknowledging that the situation is easing up.
Over the past 3 days, we have had a steady supply, and the queue have lessened. All the cars don't stay for more than an hour on the queue, and alhamdulillah, everything has steadied up.
We have about 18,000 before discharging. This 45 for now. And you can see the tension now is getting down gradually. So for now, I don't think we have a major challenge.
The NNPC CEO assured that the company and key players are working assiduously with the daily directives from President Muhammadu Buhari to mitigate the supply challenge.
We are loading product all over the country in all the depots 24 hours. Truck numbers are increasing. Normalcy is returning gradually. We have seen the situation in Lagos and Abuja have greatly improved. We are very sure that normalcy will return very soon. That is why we are here to ensure that our stations sell 24 hours. And not only that, to make sure that normalcy quickly returns to our country. And of course, what is also very, very true is that Mr. President is constantly coming in picture of what is happening.
We've had unprecedented supply. We have exceeded the national average. We had 35 days supply stock nationally. Our people are also monitoring in the fields and making sure that every retail outlet is working, dispensing from every available pump. Okay, and in all this, there's been quite a lot of collaboration between the authority and other stakeholders, particularly NNPC, which has ramped up this supply.
They are optimistic that with the deployment of unprecedented fuel supply in the country, the narrative will soon change for good. In Abuja, Lydia Sampson, NTA News.
We join Ogochukwuka in Benin now.
Thank you for joining us. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, is taking steps to make registration of permanent voters' cards, PVC, easier through devolution of the process. As is ahead of the forthcoming governorship election in Ekiti State. And to this end, the election management body is taking the continuous voters registration to the various wards of the 16 local government areas of the state for easy access. Tayo Osho reports that this was the focus of the discussion by key players held at the INEC office in Ekiti.
As the people of Ekiti State are gearing up for the June 18 governorship election, INEC is taking further steps to give the people opportunity to have access to their permanent voter cards, PVCs.
And the registration should stop 90 days.
The stakeholders forum was to acquaint Ekiti people with the provisions of the law and plans to take the PVC's registration and other related processes to the 177 wards of the state. And it will give room to those who have attained the age of 18 to register and allow those who are yet to register to do so. Also, people who have problems with their PVCs, as well as those who have transferred from their various locations to make use of the opportunity to be provided during the exercise.
Undoubtedly, you cannot achieve a seamless and successful election without your cooperation. We solicit further for your all-hour support and genuine advice on every aspect of our operations.
Representatives of political parties and other stakeholders at the forum commended INEC for the initiative and promised to take the message back to the people. In Advocacy, Tayo Osho, NTA News.
And as the global community prepares to mark Women's Day, the focus in Ondo State is on a paradigm shift to lift the female gender out of poverty. Olushola Komalafe reports.
Goal 5 of the Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs of the United Nations, is to ensure women's full and effective participation and equal opportunities for leadership at all levels of decision-making in political, economic, and public life by 2030. In achieving this goal in Ondo State, the Office of the Special Advisor to the Governor on Gender is empowering women in Ondo State to be more equipped in all areas for a sustainable future.
We need for our women to actually be up and doing when it comes to beginning action, when it comes to doing things greatly, with a new mindset, and also see the new paradigm, which we believe will take them to the next level.
The women are told not to see themselves as superior to men in their pursuit of gender equality, but complement men to make the society a better place.
In life, you must have a vision. You must have a mission. You must prepare yourself adequately. Nothing falls on your laps. Nothing. You must work towards it.
Speakers at the event urge participants to channel their energy into ventures the society can benefit from, while participants say the seminar is an eye-opener. In Akure, Olushola Komalafe, NTA News.
And the news continues in Abuja. Ruth.
Thank you, Agochikoka. Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, says the federal government is set to initiate behavioral programs capable of dissuading the youth from engaging in ritual killings and other criminal activities for a better society. The minister stated this in Abuja, Ogun State, at the grand finale of 2022 Lisabi Festival Day. Tokbe Alabi reports.
The annual Lisabi Festival is to showcase and foster the virtues and values of the legendary Lisabi Agbonbuakala in order to further develop Egbaland and Ogun State.
Minister of Information and Culture, Alhaji Lai Mohammed, who was represented by the General Manager NTAI Abeokuta Fumi Wakama, while speaking on the theme Youth Inclusiveness and Emerging Reality in Socio-Economic Development of Egba Land, congratulated Ogun State Governor Dapo Abiodun and Egba Indigenes on the 35th Lisabi Festival. The minister, who decried the spate of youth delinquency in the country, said the federal government has come with some preventive measures so as to make youth more responsive to socio-economic development in Nigeria.
The National Film and Video Censors Board has therefore been directed to take
take the issue of ritual killing seriously while censoring and classifying films and videos.
Ogun State Governor Dr. Abiodun commended the people of Egba land for the continued commemoration of the age-long Lisabi festival and called on them to work for unity and progress of the state and Nigeria in general.
Celebrations such as this must serve as a reminder to us of our individual and collective responsibilities to our motherland.
This is the best ever Lisabi festival that we have had since we started 35 years ago.
We must continue to celebrate our heroes to remember history of our past.
Highlights of the festival include paying of homage by sons and daughters of Egba land, both home and diaspora, to Alaki and paramount ruler of Egba land, and some goodwill messages which centered on oneness in Nigeria.
From the Ake Palace here in Abeokuta, talked by Alabi, NTAI News.
There you have it. We're done. Thank you very much for your time. Remember, together we can stand against rape and rapists. I'm Ruth Aguela. Bye.